HarperCollins presents Ship of Dreams by Donna Jones Alward. Read by Clementine Medforth and Esmee Cook. Chapter 1. April 10th, 1912, Southampton. Hannah. Oh, Lou, isn't it simply magnificent? I spun away from the glorious sight of the Titanic and beamed at my best friend, Louisa Phillips, who, like me, was standing in awe of the veritable palace resting at Southampton Dock. Her blue eyes were alight with an excitement that mirrored my own. I reached out and clasped her gloved hand, giving it a squeeze. "Oh, this is absolutely tremendous," I bubbled. "I can't wait to get on board and see our cabins." Lou was 3 inches taller than me and far more self-possessed than I was at this moment. Her blonde hair was precisely curled, tucked, and pinned beneath a cream confection of a hat that was wider than her shoulders and more than adequately adorned with silk ribbons and diaphanous netting. And while her face held a certain enthusiasm, her bearing was one of elegance and, well, presence. She was the kind of woman who walked into a room and owned it. Heads turned her way and never failed to admire. I, on the other hand, often felt like a rambunctious little puppy, or perhaps a kitten, sometimes adorable, more prone to get a pat on the head than admiring respect. It had always been thus, since the day we first met at St. Hilda's School in Exeter. When I couldn't find my pencil, she'd plucked it out of my hair and handed it to me. We'd been closer in height back then, but I'd kept more of my baby fat, while Lou's figure was already willowy with bumps in all the right places. Lou hadn't cared a bit. She'd announced we were to be best friends, and we were. The jolliest of friends for nearly 15 years now. It didn't seem to matter how different our lives were. Through thick and thin, we always said. "It is exactly as you say, Han. Magnificent." Lou squeezed my hand back, and her smile widened as her eyes twinkled. "Oh, we are going to have such fun on this crossing." "Not too much fun," came a grumbling voice beside me, and I sighed on the inside. Charles could be such a wet blanket. Lou was undeterred, though. "Oh, come, Charles. Even you have to admit the Titanic is built for pleasure." She let go of my hand and slid her arm through mine, and we all looked up at the massive ship. I was stuck between the two of them, which felt rather appropriate, considering. My husband was always the steady, rather dull one, which often appealed to my quieter side. But then there was Lou to my right, elegant, confident, and always ready for a party. If not for Lou, I'd probably be a recluse. Whenever I needed a dose of fun, I looked to Lou. She could lighten the darkest of moods with her charm and easy laugh. And I'd needed that over the last year or so, while I made a return to the land of the living. Charles smiled a little, looking slightly pained. "You're right, of course, Miss Phillips." He never called her by her Christian name, which made her somewhat cross, and he knew it. "There is no end to the delights promised on the Titanic. It should be a pleasant crossing." Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Lou roll hers, and I stifled a smile. Pleasant was such an innocuous word, like nice or amenable, which required no commitment one way or another. Still, I looped my left arm through Charles's as we made our way through the chaotic throng to the gangway for first class. "It's going to be marvellous," I decreed, raising my voice in the din, calling forth the small flicker of hope I held that perhaps getting away from our day-to-day humdrum could somehow improve my marriage. If I could just shake Charles out of his rut, maybe we could share the kind of relationship we'd once had while courting.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?